Alto shows you can cut the price of motoring without cutting too many corners. It's not the best budget buy out there, but it's a stylish, solid little car that'll cost little to buy or own. It's hardly surprising that a car as small and cheap as the Alto isn't as good to drive as the best super minis. It holds its own, however, and is far from unpleasant to drive. It handles competently and rides fairly smoothly, but you do get bounced around a bit at speed, and there's a lot of lean through bends. The tight turning circle comes in handy for city driving, but the steering gives little feedback and is heavier than it should be when you're parking. You'll either love or loathe the engine's 3-cylinder thrum, but it's reasonably quiet at a steady cruise. Some wind and engine noise intrudes, but neither is deafening, so refinement is on a par with most rivals. There's only one engine available, a 3-cylinder 1-litre petrol with a modest 67 brake horsepower. Performance isn't helped by long gearing that ekes out as much fuel as possible, but the Alto is nippy enough around town. It can hold its own on faster roads too, but you need to be prepared to work the 5-speed manual gearbox hard. A 4-speed automatic is available as an option. Open the door and it's immediately clear the Alto is a cheap car. There are no frills here, no soft-touch plastics or swish materials. Everything does feel robust and built to last, however. The Alto's dashboard won't win any prizes for style either, but it's pretty user-friendly thanks to simple rotary heater dials and chunky stereo buttons. All-round vision also impresses, but the driving position won't suit everyone because the steering wheel doesn't adjust for reach, and you only get seat height adjustment on higher spec cars. 4 people can fit in as long as they're not too tall. Where they'll all put their stuff is another matter, because the boot is tiny. The rear seats can be folded down for larger items, but they're only split on the top spec model. You don't get a glove box either. The Alto costs much the same as the Nissan Pixo, which is identical apart from a few cosmetic and trim details. Both are cheap, but not jaw-droppingly so. Running costs are very low, however. There's average fuel economy of over 64 miles per gallon, while CO2 emissions of just 103 grams per kilometre mean you pay little tax. The cheaper trims also attract a Group 1 insurance rating, while the range-topping model is only in Group 2. We don't expect the Alto to hold its value particularly well, though. Standard equipment is reasonable for the money. The entry-level SZ2 has remote central locking, electric front windows and a CD player, but you'll have to upgrade to the SZ3 if you want air conditioning. Top-spec cars have alloy wheels, front fog lamps and a rev counter, plus that more versatile split rear bench. The Alto is a sound buy if you're on a tight budget, but some rivals are better to drive and have a more appealing interior.